Hyperloop is an ultra-high-speed ground transportation system for passengers and cargo proposed as a concept by multiple big giant companies. The high speeds make the Hyperloop ideal for medium to long routes between large metropolitan areas. Currently considered routes are generally between 200 and 1,500 kilometers in length. It consists of sealed and partially evacuated tubes, connecting mobility hubs in large metropolitan areas and pasteurized vehicles, usually called pods, which can move at very high speeds thanks to contactless levitation and propulsion systems, as well as the low aerodynamic drag. So stick around to the end to know what is Hyperloop, how does the mechanism of Hyperloop work, and who is working on this project. As you may have heard, is a super-speed ground-level transportation system in which people could travel in a hovering pod inside a vacuum tube at speeds as high as 760 miles per hour, 1,220 kilometers per hour, just shy of the speed of sound. Virgin's system includes magnetic levitation, much like the technology used in advanced high-speed rail projects in Japan and Germany. Who is building the Hyperloop? With Musk sitting it out, the early lead in making his Hyperloop dreams a reality was fought between Hyperloop One and Hyperloop Transportation Technologies, HTT, both based in the US, but with plans to build Hyperloop in whichever country will cough up the cash first. When a current is fed through the track, the pod moves forward, accelerating until they reach a speed where they lift up, like a boat planing along in the water, and are guided by magnets. A series of vacuum pumps removes much of the tunnel's air to the point where the atmosphere is similar to being 200,000 feet above sea level. Naturally, the pods will be pressurized like an airplane cabin. Hyperloop One says its 670 mile-per-hour system will be automated by the most advanced systems in the world, allowing a safe and efficient journey that is never delayed or overbooked. The company has been the most forthcoming in regards to planned Hyperloop locations. These include several proposed routes across the US, UK, Europe, and the Middle East, although none have yet been given the green light for construction to begin. Given its wealth, open space, and interest in futuristic technology like passenger-carrying drones, the United Arab Emirates is a strong candidate for the first Hyperloop, which is expected to operate between Dubai and Abu Dhabi early next decade. Other routes considered by Virgin Hyperloop One include connecting London with Edinburgh, Los Angeles with San Diego, Miami with Orlando, Florida, Reno, Nevada with Las Vegas, and Chicago with Columbus, Ohio, and Pittsburgh, PA. Hyperloop One has received investments of $245 million to date and hopes to begin construction of its first route in 2019, with commercial services starting in 2021. Musk claimed that the vehicle could make the 350-mile, 560-kilometer journey between Los Angeles and San Francisco in just 35 minutes for $20 a ticket, and estimated the cost of the infrastructure at $6 billion. He also said that the new transit system should be safer than any current mode of transportation, immune to weather and resistant to earthquakes. Musk never devoted many resources to making the project a physical reality, but released his Hyperloop Alpha as an open-source design for universities and companies to research and develop. In 2014, Virgin Hyperloop was founded on the premise of making Musk's vision of a futuristic transportation system a reality. The company has made substantive technical changes to Musk's initial proposal and chose not to pursue the Los Angeles to San Francisco route the billionaire envisioned. But Virgin wants to keep the futuristic vehicle environment friendly, with vegan leather seats and some of the pod materials made from recycled content. If you are enjoying the video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos just like this. How does Hyperloop work? At its core, a Hyperloop system is all about removing the two things that slow down regular vehicles: friction and air resistance. To do away with the former, the pod needs to hover above the tracks, making Hyperloop a magnetic levitation (maglev) train. To put it in the simplest terms, maglev trains use two sets of magnets, one set to repel and push the train up off the tracks, and another set to move the floating train ahead, taking advantage of the lack of friction. Once two sets of magnetic waves are established, they work in tandem to push the vehicle forward, says Sam Gurel, former director of maglev systems at General Atomic, an energy and defense corporation based in San Diego, California. The advantage of maglev is that it allows you to go very high speeds, in addition to having a very nice ride quality. Gurel says, "It's like riding on a magic carpet." The super speed of Hyperloop, however, is achieved through drastically minimized air resistance. Passengers' pods move through a low-pressured sealed tube, which contains vacuums that suck out nearly all the air. The air pressure inside the cabin is so low that it mimics the conditions of being at about 200,000 feet, 61,000 meters, above sea level. By virtue of being in a tube, the system is protected from the weather and can operate in almost any weather conditions. Examining the Hyper problems. Although the technology addresses problems of friction and air resistance, Hyperloop projects have suffered from different kinds of drag, economics. Financial and transportation experts have expressed the belief that Musk's $6 billion price tag dramatically understates the cost of designing, developing, constructing, and testing an all-new form of transportation. Leaked financial documents in 2016 suggested that Musk's Hyperloop would cost as much as $13 billion, or $121 million per mile. Like any form of transit, Hyperloop transport carries inherent risks, and contingencies for any unforeseen disasters still need to be engineered into the system. At high speeds, even a small earthquake or the slightest breakage of a vacuum tube would pose a significant danger to passengers and crew. In addition to safety assurances, a Hyperloop system must offer the kind of pricing that would draw paying passengers away from current modes of transportation. With large-scale projects like this, good engineering needs to coexist with good politics. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, Gurl's company collaborated with a German firm Transrapid to build a maglev-based high-speed train from Las Vegas to Anaheim. In 2007, former U.S. Senator Harry Reid, Nevada, came to the Senate Majority Leader and decided the state had more important priorities. That's the kind of political change that can just reverse any project. Hundreds of engineers and 15 years of work and the project just died, Gurl said. According to Financial Times, in 2018, Saudi Arabia pulled its $1 billion idea with Virgin Hyperloop after the company's ex-chairman Richard Branson criticized the kingdom over the disappearance of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Still, as of May 2019, the company has raised $400 million from private investors and plans to begin commercial operations in 2030, pushed back from the early predictions that envisioned a passenger-ready Hyperloop in 2021. Besides Virgin, the companies working out the hurdles of this transportation method include the Hyperloop Transportation Technologies, Hyperloop TT, a US-based startup that signed an agreement in China to build a test track, Hart Hyperloop in the Netherlands, and Transpod, a Canadian company. Until these companies raise hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, acquire the massive tracts of land needed for a variety of systems, and prove that the system can be operated safely, Hyperloop remains a near-future dream. So guys, let me know down in the comments section below, what are your thoughts about it? For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video!